The organization is Valley View Vaulters. We have named the ranch the Independence Ranch. We have been in business together since 1980, working with the kids and the horses, doing the gymnastics. We moved into this house in 1992. Got the barn down below, let's see, with room for 2 arenas. It's everything we need to make the program run here. Right at this point, we have 5 horses, 6. I've got one in Colorado that's been with the trainer back there, and I have to go back real soon to pick them up and bring them. So, no, we have probably about 6 volunteers at the moment. It varies, depending on the class also, and who we need to take care of the horses to help us take care of the horses and all that. So it could range from 6 to 10 volunteers. What do? We teach gymnastics on horses, and the horse goes on a line in a circle, or it can be led also, depending on the situation with the vaulter, whether they are disabled or competitive, because we work with everybody here. If you want to do what we do here, it's our job to see that you do whatever you want to do and make it safe. But so the horse can be on a line, going in a circle. So the horse goes on a circle on a line, and we'll put the vaulter, the student, onto the horse, where we will have somebody on each side working with them most of the time until they are able to do that by themselves. Sometimes we'll lead the horse around, and sometimes we'll be at the halt, oftentimes the walk, trot, or canter. And we do gymnastics, a lot of different movements or exercises on the horse. And they'll be on the horse's neck, on his back, on his hind end, his croup, and they get to twist and turn and do it. It's basically a full body workout in one session, a half hour to an hour. Okay. In a group, it's a 2-hour session. It's amazing what it does, both physically and mentally, for the person who is vaulting. A lot of it is by word of mouth, which is the best, because when you have your successes with some and they know other people like them, then they'll tell them about it and bring them in. But we do advertisements and whatever we can do to draw them in. But we have to charge a lot of the students, unless there are those that can't afford it. Then we go out and find people with good hearts. Most of our lessons, the students or the parents have to pay for them. When we are in a situation that we want to work with somebody that cannot afford it, then we go out and try to find the money to help them, because we've got to keep the horses fed. We've got to keep the place running. But sometimes when it comes down to it, and I'm not going to turn somebody away, so we'll find a way to work with them no matter what. It costs about $350 a month, bare minimum. That's just feed and bedding, and the person to take care of them. So we're talking per horse an average of about $6,000 a year.
And that covers medical?
Yes, okay. That would be all of their health stuff, the vets, the shoeing, all the things that are needed to keep them going. Not including the tack necessary to work that horse with the student on it. When they start here, they're here as long as they want to be. Okay, a lot of the disabled students that we've taken in is because their so-called prescriptions ran out with their therapists, and so when that happens and they can't have the therapy anymore, that's pretty much where we start. And I've got students that we've had for 20 some odd years, and they're going to be here forever. The first thing is that they have to be able to trust me and what I say, and that I'm not going to allow anything to happen to them. Okay, and then we start with the basics of what we're doing on the horse. After that, from the basics, and I'm able to then see what they're doing, what they need, whether it's physical or mental, if you have the certain fears, and how everybody's different on how we will approach them on becoming a part of the horse. They not only have to trust me, they have to learn to trust the horse. And the horse can be pretty big and intimidating, but that's the beauty of it, is to watch the change in the students as they go along. What they have to learn here, whether they're vaulting or riding, is that horse is depending upon them, and them being the leader of the horse. Okay, they have to exude that confidence so that the horse feels comfortable in what it's doing with them. There's nothing that will upset a horse quicker than somebody who is acting upset. Okay, and that's what they learn here, is how to become the leader on and of that horse, and that will then again take them out into their life where they're no longer afraid to put themselves out there into a situation that they're uncertain of. Because I found here, and I will tell them, they're not afraid of falling. They're not afraid of getting hurt. What they are afraid of is the unknown, that they don't know what I'm going to have them do, and going along with the unknown is afraid of failure. Because none of us want to fail. Yeah, none of us want to fail in front of somebody else. Okay? So the first thing that they learn is that failure is their best friend. Okay? And that may take a while, but that's one of the greatest things that they'll learn here. I always tell them, you don't learn from your successes, you learn from your failures. And so that goes a long ways in teaching them to be a part of the horse. Because the horse is the same way. The horse doesn't want to fail. It's there to please us.
Want to strive to align ourselves with the CWT program, which is based out of Long Beach and out of the Wilshire VA, having the idea of failure being your friend first, or understanding that life is a mixture of failures and successes. And just like an addiction, you will always have a relapse. It's a natural thing, and becoming whole again. And we at the Veteran Administration and at Ridgeview are striving to enhance the whole being of the person. And Rick's ranch has the purpose, and it's needed for those who feel that they want to touch the earth again, get real dirt underneath their fingernails and smell the smell of a farm again or a ranch again, get back to nature. I think that Rick's whole concept needs to be implemented into the system as another alternative, just like growing plants, just like watering the grass. Anything simple to bring a person back to whole.
It's not just about being on the horse to feel what the horse can do for you there. It's about being next to the horse. It's about feeling the horse. It's about picking a foot up and cleaning the hoof out. And it's about watching the difference in that horse and how you make that horse feel. Okay? It's when they come here and there are those fears or whatever they come with, it's watching the horse change, how they can change the horse and how the horse can change them. There's the horse. The old, of course, so many people have heard this saying, and it's disputable as to whether it was Will Rogers or Winston Churchill, but it's about the outside of the horse being great for the inside of man. But guess what? The horse has inside parts too, and the horse has a heart. And it's been said here, people would come in and they'd say, you know what? Every one of your horses look different. They're a different breed, you know, they're a different size, you know, they're different colors. And they say, but every one of those horses have the same look in their eye. And they don't come in that way, but by being worked with and taught by the people here, and knowing that it's a good place for the horse too, the soul, the inside of the horse comes out, through the eye. So every horse that we take in here, there's no two of them alike. Okay, they're just like people. Some of them will be the greeters. There's just, they love people and to be around them. Others are very nervous, not about people, but about maybe, we've had horses that were afraid they were going to hurt somebody just by the person being on them. And so you got to deal with that, you know. And that's the process of being here, is to show them that everything is okay for them also, not just the people. And it's through that grooming, it's through the training that we do out in the field with them, you know. The part of showing them, a horse is not by nature a leader. 99.9% of horses want to be led. Okay, so we have to then become the leaders of that horse, and that's when you start seeing them relax and wanting to step forth. And they learn to be a part of the program. They learn what their job is here with the people. And it sounds like the program's about the horse. It is, but it's only half of the equation. Okay, it's the people and the horse together.
To reiterate on that, it is the horse, but it is the person, and they make a team. And that's what the military has always been about, a team.
Yep.
And we want to put that team back together in a simple mannerism. What I found here at the Independence Ranch is a sense of wholeness, simply giving the person a feeling of understanding that it's not just about them anymore. They have people.
Cut.
Sorry.
No, he has the mic on, so if he's talking, we gotta freeze.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
He's down.
No, he's good. I mean, you just got the mic on. It's just picking you up.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg.
Okay, it's not just about the person himself. He has a team to support him. And I've learned in 12-step, I've learned in the peer support system, we need a team to help the individual come back to whole. You can't do it by yourself. Here at the Independence Ranch, you don't work by yourself, you work together. So the reason why we're putting this program together through the CWT program is to give these guys an opportunity to work together as a team again, give them a sense of being whole again, and a freedom that they probably haven't had in a while, because there's no brick walls. This is like a home without walls. It's almost going to be someplace where they say, wow, I'm back on earth again. So, you know, this is important to me, because it's helping not just myself, but other individuals who've actually had a chance to walk up to an animal, a horse, and pet that horse again, smell the real earth again, and get peace of mind. And you'll see as you go further what I'm talking about.
We've, in 40 years, we've bought one horse. And so all of them, we'll have to say all of them, because there's only been one we bought, and that one didn't turn out to be a good one. But we get people who know about us, who hear about us, and watch what we do with our horses, how safe the horses are here. They have a belief in us and what we can do in handling their horse and keeping their horse. So it's all by donations. But it's got to be, we can't take all horses because some of them just aren't going to be, we have to pick the ones that are going to be good for the program because there's only so much space here and money. So, but we get them by donations. Our program here is run 90% on donations, whether it's money or items. We've got people that like to do yard sales, you know, and so we get a lot of items that's brought in, you know, for that. We get the horses donated. We've had our vehicles donated. We could not survive without your donations. The money is very important, you know, to pay for the vets, to pay for the feed, to pay for that. But that's not the only way that we get along.
Right.
It's valleyviewvaulters.com. It's a very nice website. A lady who is a professional, heard about us and put it together for us. Her name, no joke, is Robin Spurs, and she's a very, very, very nice, wonderful lady. We have been here Virginia and I have been Valley View Vaulters, started it in 1980, so it's been just about 40 years. We've worked with a lot of different people. We've changed a lot of lives and added importance to a lot of lives. But we still feel that the work that we've done isn't even close to what we've wanted. There are so many other things that we couldn't do without the proper help. Okay, and one of those was to be able to work with the disabled vets, and because they are the greatest heroes in our lives. Okay, and I could never imagine what they would go through, but a body is a body. Okay, whether it's good or if we have one arm or things that go wrong in life, that there's paralysis. We've worked with quads and we've worked with people with strokes and but one of the things that has escaped us all this time, again, was working with the vets, and I feel that we have been preparing ourselves through working with so many different people. Okay, myself included. I competed for 22 years, and it all started. Well, what I've wanted to do all this time is find a way to include the vets into the program. And it's been one of our dreams for so long, like even just in the Olympics. And today we have the Paralympics and the Para-Equestrian Olympics. And there's several different disciplines that go in that. And look, this whole thing, this vaulting thing, was started by the cavalries for centuries, for as long as we've been working with horses, as long as you've had the soldiers on horses, they developed vaulting to help them stay alive, you know, whether it's going through a battlefield where a soldier got shot off of his horse, or the horse was shot out from underneath him and another soldier would come through on the dead run with the hand out, reaching down, grasping, and throwing that soldier up behind him and running out of the danger of the battlefield, and how to move around on the horse. Even the Indians, when you see them in a movie where they're hanging down on the side of the horse, or they come down to the ground and they punch the ground and come back up. Okay, those were all legitimate moves to stay alive, and vaulting was performed in the Olympics by cavalries from around the world. Okay, but when the militaries became mechanized, sorry about that, when they became mechanized, and there was no need for the horses, for the cavalries anymore, then vaulting was dropped from the Olympics. Okay, But instead of having it outside, they developed into the gym room the gymnastics that you see today, whether it's the pommel horse with the two handles, because we have two handles on the horse, or the vault horse, where the gymnast would go running and spring off the springboard and punch over the vault horse. You know, that's a big thing in gymnastics today. Well, I saw vaulting in the Olympics on a film. I wasn't there because it was back in 1930, 29 or 30. And the soldiers were performing and the horse was standing still. They had a springboard next to the horse, and the soldiers would go running, hit the springboard and flip up and on or over the horse. So that's where, even in the gym room, so much rich history comes from this sport and what the cavalries did. Now, if we could actually get that put back into the para-equestrian Olympics today, how great would it be that we could get vaulting in there being performed a lot by the disabled soldiers from around the world. Unfortunately, as long as there's war, there's going to be bodies that are missing limbs or whatever, and that these guys would be, oh God, just imagine what it would do to them to be able to be back competing with each other in something as great as being on the horse.
And giving back on that, giving back to those who've given so much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exemplifying. I mean, I can't tell you how I felt when I heard your story, Rick. I felt like there needs to be more attention towards that, because there's a lot of veterans right now who've given it all. They've given it all, and they've given more than the unusual. When you come back in this day and age, in this technical world, and you lose an arm or leg, it's not like before where we have people who are more compassionate. This is a compassionate world, but it ruins the mystique of being whole. And to somebody who's similar thoughts, which Rick has, who has lost an arm, he has been through the trials and tribulations of life expectancies, and he's conquered it, actually conquered it, and he wants to give back to those who've given so much for their country. I think this is a simplified way of looking at it. It's something that, to me, deserves to be seen by people who represent the best, and that's the Veteran Administration and the veterans they serve.
I could tell you the importance of this is just a matter of how we came to be here, and that was the fact that I was born with two arms, and as a child in the fifth grade, I'm trying to push it a little, but I was at recess one day being pushed around by the school bully, whose head's taller than me, and I couldn't do anything to him. But this other boy was laughing at me being pushed around. He thought that was funny, and that made me mad. So I went over and I hit that boy. And I was left-handed, and I hit him upside the head, broke my arm in 3 places, which was pretty weird until they took the x-rays for the broken arm and found cancer in my shoulder joint. Okay? If I hadn't hit that boy that day, I would have been dead within 2 years. And it was because of that I got to stay alive. It was for those reasons that I got to go to college, because my family couldn't afford to put our kids through, but the state paid my way because I had one arm. And it was at the school that I went to at Cal Poly at Pomona that I discovered, through no attempt of my own, the sport of vaulting. The fellow who helped me register my first quarter, he said, asked me, he said, we're doing this thing down at the horse unit. Can you come down and try it? And I said, sure, no problems, because I've been around horses all my life. And I went down there, but I've always taken care of horses. I didn't really ride. They were thoroughbreds. And I got down there and saw this horse going in a circle, and these students were running out, taking the handles, jumping up onto the horse. And the fellow said, what do you think? I said, that's what you want me to try? And he says, yeah, what do you think? I said, I think I like my neck the way it is. Thank you, you know. And I left. And like everything else in my life, he never gave up on me. And he kept pushing me and asking, says, you got to try it, you got to try it. And so finally I'm like, man, I got to get this guy off my back. So I said, okay. And I went down there with them, and they put me up on the horse and showed me some things, and I got to admit it was pretty cool. And so I decided to go back again, and they showed me some more things. And the third time was great. And the fourth time, the fourth practice that I was at, I got to take the handle on the horse that was trotting, and I jumped, punched, and I swung right up on that horse all by myself, nobody around. And I've got to tell you, there was not a feeling ever in my life, except for my wedding, that could ever compare to the feeling that I had at that moment. And I've heard about that from a lot of other people who do the same thing, you know. And that was again, I keep saying, you know, that was where it all started. Okay, it started back when I lost my arm, but it started when I got to go to school, and it started when I got to go and volunteer at a therapeutic vaulting program, where then I got to meet Virginia, and I have been married all these years, and it's like everything, one leads to another, and another. And I've always say, you never question why, and you never look back, because there's a reason for everything. And you won't know it for now. You won't know it maybe for 10 or 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay? But it's there, and you just keep trying. I was playing, I didn't even tell you this, but I was playing Pop Warner football 8 weeks after they took my arm off.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? I learned to tie my own shoe at that point, because my dad tied one of my cleats, and my mom walked into the room, and I said, look, Mommy, I tied my shoe. And she says, great, let me see you tie the other one. So I did. Being a young male, I wasn't going to be proven wrong by his mother. But guess what? That's what I get to do today, is to show all the kids that we work with, whether they come in maybe one day in a camp, or I've got them for a lifetime. I get to show them that nothing is going to stop me from tying my shoe. I can show people from the one arm that the kids who are just mesmerized, and the parents are like, oh my God, you know, don't bother that man. I'm like, don't do that to him. And I'll just kneel down and say, hey, look, feel this. You know, if you see these bumps are right here. These are your ribs. Did you know your ribs go all the way up to your neck? And then you hear the parents standing there going, no. So many people don't know that your ribs go all the way up to your neck, you know? So who else gets to show that? What better life can you have than to be around people and teach them so much? Yeah. You know?
And that's basically the simple
and that's all of us.
Yeah, I mean, this is not something that we're trying to make money off of. We're trying to give back. That's what the independent ranch is about. That's what the philosophy of Ridgeview and the members. We really are adapting to the fact that it takes two, not just you.
It takes a team
to give back, and in a very community way. So this is our way of reaching out and giving an opportunity, another view for those who've lost their vision.
When you're talking about not making money and what is the importance of what we're doing, I lived to play baseball, still do when I can, but my last year before they took my arm off, a perfect batting average is 1,000 in baseball, and my last year it was 743. Okay, players get millions and millions of dollars today batting at 240. Okay, but I could never, one day of my life, miss what I could have had, because what we do have is the most important thing that you can ever have in your life, and that's the ability to help and to change lives of others, which is what we like to feel we do here and wherever we go, whether we're teaching and clinicking around the country, starting programs to be just like ours, you know. And one of the coolest things we've come up with was for those students that are, I can't, you know, this, it first of all is not allowed here, but what I came up with one day is, son of a gun, I can't. I can accomplish next time. You know, so tell me, it doesn't do you any good. Even when you say the word, you're saying you can. Yeah. So, but it's just about the positiveness, even turning the negatives of failures around to make those your positives. You don't stand a chance.
That's so beautiful. I'll use that from now on. I can. And somebody's going to sit up and say, what does it mean? So I'll have to call Rick and say,
yeah. What does that tell these guys?
And it goes back to the simple term I always say, it's not about the money, it's about the outcome.
Yeah.
It's about what we can do for another person.
One of our kids that I've worked with, he's 16 now. He started when he was 18 months. We got him because 3 therapists and a doctor, he had a disease that it looks like he's got hypotonic cerebral palsy, which is no muscle tone. So he came to us looking like a Humpty Dumpty Raggedy Ann doll, okay? And the therapist and the doctor said, this is what you got to us, Mom. Just take him home and make him comfortable, love on him, you know, he's a good soul kind of thing. You know. So she heard about us, brought him out, and we put her up on the horse, set him on the horse in front of her, and held him in what I call a proper seat for the posture. And we held him there for about a year of screaming. He got so good with his core that we started holding him standing up on the horse. And Mom would hold him up, and I'd hold his legs under him so that, you know, he was being, you know, his body was bracing itself. Okay. And within another half a year or so, he was standing on the horse on the ground, and his mom took him back to the therapist and said, look, he's standing now, we could teach him to walk. And they went, oh, poor lady, you don't understand. He's going to stand for a few seconds, he's going to fall. There's nothing we can do for him. Take him home. We don't want to see him anymore. Okay? Within the next year, he was competing with us on a horse and practice horse. And one of his exercises in his freestyle, of course, we're spotting him and holding him because he's only 5 years old at the time, but we'd hold his arms, and he loved to lay back and swing his legs over his head and hit the ground. So it was a back somersault off this apparatus. And so he landed. And the girl that was helping me spot him, we goofed, and we both let go to retake. And before we walked him back, when we both let go, this kid took off running back to Mom. A few weeks ago, because he now plays soccer and baseball and all this stuff, and he's attending regular high school, and he's still here, and he was out helping me one day and lifting a kid who was about 130 or 40 pounds, helping to spot, he's also handicapped, and lifting him up onto the barrel, and then helping a girl whose leg wasn't working right to hold her leg up. So which was more important, his first steps or the fact that he's now helping other people? All of these people that we have worked with and have had our successes are just a piece of, I don't, it's not a puzzle, but a piece of what, everything that we can do. The soldiers that may not feel whole or important anymore, And that you can see why I want to work with them.
This is something that has to be seen. We're not trying to market this at all. We just want you to be able to visualize a veteran here at the Independent Ranch, understanding that he has hope again. He can feel free again, or he can feel like a human being again.
Yeah.
And my name is Greg Taylor. That's my story.
The organization is Valley View Vaulters. We have named the ranch the Independence Ranch.